Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Path, the rising VTuber and artist, and guess who forgot that tonight was the Game Awards? I did. Me. I forgot it was the Game Awards. Hi Sentai. Lovely to see the cat emoji again. I forgot that night was the Game Awards, so a lot of people will probably be busy watching that, but we will muddle through regardless. That being said, we do have a pretty special opening today because people who are in V server probably know that this is going on. There is a video game, really kind of more a visual novel, but also so did Gabe Newell. I think he forgot to announce Half-Life 3. It's possible. That would be really funny if the guy who's just been on top of fucking everything for the past decade or so and has been really the only winner of like the kind of age of calamity that has been the 2010s for online storefront, just by being barely serviceable and avoiding any major pitfalls. It would be really funny if he had like a big red button that said release Half-Life 3 and he just happened to fuck up today. I think that would be really funny. It's delayed another 5 years because you gotta play it off. Oh fuck, I hope we never get that game. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want it to just be that unfulfilled things. I think when desires aren't fully satisfied, they are much stronger. Oh boy. Okay. Right. Let's get to Valhalla. So those of you who are in V server will know that there is this thing where we've been playing this game. Because this game takes place over the course of December up until New Year's, I think. We decided to play the game kind of as the in-game days occur. So I've been doing that as well, and I'll just be dicking around in the first half of the stream, just playing through the day 3 of the prologue. It's actually Half-Life 4. Damn, you're right. I forgot that the Half-Life 3 came out 2 years ago on like mobile platforms for Japanese cell phones, not smartphones, cell phones only. I forgot to include that in my calculations. I like that he's selling a geometric cube now. I was going to buy it until I found out it runs games. I'm not sure I need another console. God, that is really funny. The whole thing about Steam machines is so bizarre because I remember hearing about those suckers back in 2010 and being like, that sounds impressive. You know, being like a 10-year-old who didn't really know much about computers. You know, they just sounded very technically impressive. And now it's like, yo, this thing can rip into the 4th dimension by the BT dubs. Very impressive stuff. Alright, we are in day 3 of the prologue. Sunday, December 11th. Good evening. You look bummed, boss? Starting tomorrow, there will be no more corgis in our bar. Why wouldn't I be sad? Maybe because starting tomorrow, there will be no more corgis at the bar. I wonder if the Shiba Appreciation Society might be interested in booking us. One problem at a time, boss. Wait, I know someone from the Pomeranian Development Institute. That's not a real... You made that up, Dana. One problem at a time. Still, you've been tense ever since Friday. You worried about Jill or something? Jill with a G? Our Australian co-worker? Trust me. Of all my worries, Jill is the least of them. Put on some music and enjoy the day, won't you? Right. Alright, what do we want on the jukebox, gang? I remember that... Is there any gamer news you're hopeful for today? I've honestly just attained a sort of equanimity towards the Game Awards. I just don't give a shit about them anymore. If I hear something, my people will get to me. It'll be relayed. Also, hi Jupiter. You know what? Well, we're putting some bullshit up on the jukebox today. I'm just clicking with whatever. Oh, I'm already full up. Yeah, let's go with that. Time to mix drinks and change lives. Checking off another box on Paps becomes a monk bingo! Yeah. Sadly, you'll never get a full perfect bingo because the free space is me shaving my head, and I don't know how that would work. I guess I'd just get rid of most of the rice. It'd be like, you know how you have flattened spoons or flattened scoops of stuff? Like how you scoop out something with a measuring thing and then you're supposed to flatten it out with a knife to get like a perfectly even top? That's probably what's gonna look like for me to be bald. Bald cap! Bartender, we meet again. Oh, Miss Betty. Hey, I'm gonna need y'all to clue me in on whether this thing still works, because I've had this for a while, but I don't know if it works anymore. This should make my voice sound like it's coming through a radio. Hello. How was that? Did that work? I had that set up a while back, but I don't know if it's still good. And Mr. Corky Lover. Call me Deal. 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 Oh, wipe that satisfied look off your faces, you two. What can I serve you today? I'll have a beer. I'm not the designated driver today, so give me a fringe weaver. Alright, coming right up. Alright, 1 fringe weaver and 1 beer. Okay. I forgot, back when I was playing this when I picked this game back up, I was surprised at how weird the controls felt over here. I think it's something you can definitely get used to, though. Also, I do wonder what it means that both of them are drinking then. Who's the designated driver here? Jesus, one Adelheid and 9 Karmatrine. You're trying to fucking break yourself over rocks, buddy. I don't know if you I don't know if you're built for all that. The radio voice does work? Yes! Let's go! Here. Thanks. Thank you. You seem distracted. Has serving so many dogs finally gotten to you? No. Yeah. But it's not that. My boss has been acting weird since Friday. Weird how? Romantic weird? Drug addict weird? Let's hope nobody finds the body in the fridge weird. I mean, for starters, there's the fact that she only told me we were being booked moments before we opened. Plus, she seems completely distracted or lost in her thoughts. Like you. Worse. Oh. I love Betty. I love her sprite and how she has her huge big-ass forehead and how she scrunches up her eyebrows. She's really cute. She's not being herself, and that makes me wonder if something's going on. Like what? Do you run a human trafficking ring in the basement? No, we don't have a license for that. Oh well. Thinking about it too much is not part of my job. Can I ask you something about your job? Sure. I've always been curious. What does the BTC need in their bartenders? What do you need to study? They train you from scratch, so you don't have to study anything beforehand. What does training involve? It's a lot of etiquette and regulation work. Most of our time, though, is actually spent in simulations. Simulations? Different scenarios involving different chemical hazards. That sort of thing. They want you to be able to respond to every possible situation that might end up involving our ingredients. I mean, the chances for failure are pretty slim, but it's better to not take those chances. I see. I'll be back with you guys in a bit. I'll have to attend to the other clients. Dogs. That. Oh, sure. Mr. Puff. They're chasing me, man! Oh. The cabbages, man! The goddamn cabbages! They're everywhere. They're out for my rump! You're... Never mind. Can I get you anything to, calm down? A big blue fairy would be nice. Okay, then. This dog wants a big blue fairy. Alright, which one is that? 4 Adelheid and 1 Flannergide. Okay, so 1, 2, 4. Okay, that should be 8. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2 and optional karma drain. We probably need to get this guy kind of smashed. Also, we could just make it big by just adding a bunch of karma trine. You know what? Here, little buddy. This will help you take the edge off. Age and mix. Here. Thanks! Very nice of you. Third bark day. Something the matter? Nothing a drink can't solve. Not sure about that, but it's hardly my job to reach sobriety. What do you want? Give me a gut punch. Okay. This flea bag wants a gut punch. What's a gut punch again? 1 Flanergite and 5 Bronson extract. And optional Karmatrine. We can just, okay, all H and mix. Okay. Here you are. Thanks. Hey. Do you ever feel guilty for being born in the wrong race? Just gonna let that statement hang in the air for a little bit. Really let it stink up the room. The what now? I've just been hearing so much about how we're racist. I'm wondering. Are you racist? Not really. Do you feel like other corgis might be? Definitely, I mean... Then why worry? It's not like they're calling you racist. Shouldn't take generalizations personally. You might be right. Man, you should have seen the cutie I saw yesterday on the way home. She looked like a cat boomer. She was wearing a mini dress and had this prosthetic eye. I thought you were against people using prosthetics. Oh, I'm not against cute, though. Besides, I'm not against prosthetics, I'm only against enhancements. I don't see a difference between the two. Alright, let me put it this way. If you lost an arm and replaced it with a mechanical arm that does exactly what the older one did, I'm okay with it. But if you lost your arm and replaced it with a gun-loaded super arm from hell, that's something I'm not okay with. Even worse is if you decide to replace your arm because of fashion, or a whim, or to get better at some sport. Dude, what if Otani had a mechanical baseball arm from hell? That's completely not cool. That's the difference between a prosthetic and an enhancement. Replacement versus... well, enhancement. I have a similar opinion about Lilim replacing their factory parts for kicks. If you think that's going to be an easy way of getting better at something, you're in for a bad surprise. Well, I can see why you think that, but what suggested to you that what she had wasn't an enhancement? If she had bad eyesight, wouldn't that count as an enhancement, even if it fixes it? How does reparative work factor into your ideologies? They might be enhancements, but they also replace something faulty. Well, damn it, stop making sense, you piece of scrap. You're weakening my resolve. Having fun? Oh, bartender. That was fast. There seems to be less dogs out today. I wonder who let them out. Anyway, at least dogs have want a drink. Yeah, some of them ate their tickets. Lovely. I'll be the one dealing with that later. Say, what's your take on the whole enhancement discussion, bartender? My mom had a saying. Anyone can make a chandelier out of their asses. Which somehow means, your body, your choices. They're not hurting anyone, I don't see the point in hating them. See, buddy? Hey, I didn't say I automatically hate anyone who has an enhancement. Me being against something isn't the same as me being against someone. I'm not some 12-year-old blindingly hating someone because of something like that. Maybe you should practice what you preach. What does that mean? I fear retaliation, so I'm not saying another word. Are you two gonna order anything? I'm fine right now. She's drinking mine, actually. Alright, call if you need anything else. Sure. Let's see. Ow. So much for avoiding retaliation. You are not gonna believe me. I don't know, Poop Eater. What am I not gonna believe? I was in the bathroom and this other dog was looking at me from the top of the sink. You mean the mirror? No, not the dog. I see. What can I serve you? You're not gonna do anything about that other dog at the top of the sink? I'm sure he doesn't want to hurt anybody. Don't worry. Well, I hope you're right. Well, I want something really sweet. Coming right up. I think fluffy dreams are pretty sweet, right? No, I'm thinking of something else. Let's just go look up sweet. Oh, I'm thinking of a sugar rush. Optional karma shrine, huh? Here, this way you'll see at least 4 dogs in the mirror. Here you go. Thanks! Please think about the thing with the other dog on top of the sink. I will. Don't worry. Well then. That was quick. Like I said, not too many customers today. When I heard someone booked us for 3 days, I expected more of an attendance. While you were gone, this fella here said that the Bleeding Jane is better than a pile driver. Please, prove him wrong. All I'm saying is that I don't see the point in drinks that feel more like a kick in the mouth than a beverage. What do you think, bartender? Do you think there's any point discussing non-alcoholic drinks in a bar? In my opinion, people who order a bad touch always make me giggle like an idiot, though. That's not an opinion, that's a statement. Oh well, please serve as either pile drivers or Bleeding Janes. We'll let you decide which one is better. Coming right up. Okay. What's the pile driver like? Doesn't burn as hard on the tongue, but you better not have a sore throat while drinking it. Ooh. What about a Bleeding Jane? Oh hey, this one is non-alcoholic. Say the name of this drink 3 times in front of a mirror and you'll look like a fool. Alright. I'm kind of a wrestling fan, so let's go with pile driver. Oh, whoops. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. All mixed, okay. And the other one is the exact same thing. Here. Jackpot. Oh well. How did you two end up discussing that, by the way? Well, it started when I told this guy that I wasn't as crazy about the idea of working just for corgis. Why don't you like corgis? They're cute, and fluffy, and funny, and they just, like, make you smile. Tell me one interesting thing about them. Legends say that they were created by a fairy, and that their breed was raised to fight dragons. That's true, my friend Corgi told me about this. Oh, you have got to be kidding. No, actually I heard that one too. Really? Still, I can't see why you're so tired of them. I don't know. Maybe because I only ever deal with them at their worst. You've only seen them in their happy state. I'm the one running feces sample and unclogging their sphincters if they eat their owner's dental floss. I might be their veterinarian, but they treat me more like a mom. And not in a good way. It's like being a gynecologist. After a while, you stop seeing boobs and vaginas, and instead all you see are issues you must fix. At least they're cute issues. Depends. A gynecologist can't pick clients by age or preference. I was talking about your job. Oh yeah, that too. Still, I don't think it's so much that I'm tired of them as it is that I'm tired of you being so obsessed with them. I'm not obsessed. I'm passionate. You sleep with a corgi plushie and have a wall dedicated to photos you've taken at the company. I'm really passionate? Also, hi Leo, how you doing? I'm doing this thing where, this game is set during specific days on December, so I'm doing this thing where I'm playing each day in the game as it comes up in real life. And they got some funny dialogue in this sucker. Too much passion can become an issue, you know.
Speaking of issues, did you talk with the directors about the whole cardigan conflict?
I was gonna do that tomorrow when they're all together. But I still don't see why I should be the one doing it.
For starters, they don't take me too seriously.
Understandable. I don't take you seriously either.
I mean, in the end, they are still dogs. They need someone with a strong, commanding voice.
Are you saying that I have a naggy voice?
No, not your voice. Just your entire demeanor.
So I have a naggy demeanor? I'm assuming you two are talking about the whole race conflict. Yeah, this is hurting them more than they think. The company might actually collapse at this rate.
Which is terrible, because a couple of these dogs' families are dependent on their paychecks.
Doesn't that count as unethical and unusual treatment of animals? It's a bit of a legal gray area. The dogs are doing it willingly, after all. And even if they weren't doing it willingly, the dogs aren't actually being mistreated or exploited. In fact, the company's pretty relaxed. Speaking of relaxed, how's Jurgen doing?
He's fine. Still complaining about his back. Still unwilling to take his medicine. He says he is not that weak.
Who's this Jurgen guy?
My guardian. I passed a test years ago, but I couldn't leave him.
That's actually commonplace, isn't it? Women being unable to leave their guardians because they feel too much like family. Now, to be fair, people get attached to many things. Some even get obsessed with inanimate objects. My grandpa loved his car more than any of his sons.
The one whose will left all his earthly possessions to his car, right?
Yeah, that one. How do you become a Lilim's guardian?
You fill a form at the Artificial Intelligence Council. Then, they do a background check. If they deem you useful, they'll give you an authorization. You're given a week's notice before they give you all the data about the Lilim you'll be taking care of. You'll have to watch over it until it can pass 3 different personality tests. If the Lilim wants to stay with you after that, well, that's your problem.
So, it's like adoption and the lottery all rolled into one.
They do that to diversify the possible outcomes. 2 Lilim can be of the same model, but they'll grow differently depending on their guardians.
What if something happens to the guardian?
A new guardian can appeal to the council, stating they're more fit for the position than the original. This happens when a guardian has become unavailable in some way, or because you can back up claims of neglect or mistreatment.
You spit out all that information like it's hard-coded in you.
I worked in that department for some time before coming to the STC. It is almost a reflex. Are you interested in becoming a guardian, bartender?
I don't know. I'm just a nerd when it comes to AIs in general. The money they give you for it is not that great, though. I see. Well, time to check on the dogs. Money shredder. Listen here. You listen here, punk! Sorry, I didn't mean to call you a punk. It's just... I was chasing my tail, and now I'm too hyper to control myself. Sorry. Just give me anything. Alright. Alright. This dog wants anything. I wonder if it's safe to give him something sweet. Maybe something sobering, though. What was that one, the Bleeding Jane? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all blended. I'd actually like to try a couple of these in real life. Here. Ew, that's better. Thanks, punk.
No, see, I can see the value of other dog races, like Pomeranians. Those are nice, but they aren't corgis.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. I mean, remember that cute girl from yesterday I mentioned earlier?
Yeah.
The white knight that was with her, she wasn't half bad either. I mean, it was obvious that a tapestry of muscles was hidden under her armor. I prefer more delicate-looking girls, though. You can appreciate how something looks, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily your thing.
And you, bartender?
Me what?
Which dog race do you prefer?
That's not the question that I was expecting. Well, I'm not much of a dog person, actually.
Do you have any pets?
I have a cat named Four, yeah. He's just a stray I rescued. You like rescuing girls, too? I'm sure I should be making a witty remark right now, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say no. Weird. I've always thought that the rescue fantasy was universal.
Why call it 4?
Four's a Lilum I met some time ago that, never mind. Pretty lame name if you ask me. Hey, better than calling it Asshat.
I bet when you and 4 play, it's quite the sight, huh?
He's so lively, sometimes I fear foreshadows my presence entirely. You guys want to lose consciousness that much?
You really need to calm down with the whole pun-hating stuff, Betty. But, to move away from this whole foreground, what is this rescue fantasy you mentioned before?
You know, the one where wayward, dangerous souls redeem themselves through the power of love. The bad boy who turns away a life of crime. The drug addict girl who lived on the streets and turned tricks until she found a good man worth changing for. It's corny romance cliches 101.
Well, you're the one with a shelf full of old lady romance novels. I'll trust you on this.
Hey, Fabio the 13th is a national treasure.
You don't even like guys. Why do you read all those novels?
They let you put yourself in the place of the main character quite easily.
Even if said main character is a muscular man?
I see no problem.
Just, what is your self-image?
If I can ask something else, what is it? Why do you hate puns so much? Many people cringe at puns, you know? Yeah, but you react like you have a vendetta against them. They made me feel stupid. What? When I was a kid, everyone in my house had a penchant for making puns at the drop of a hat. I was the only one who couldn't get them. Years later, I finally got them, and they weren't even that funny. They made me feel stupid. All in the name of some terrible joke that wasn't even funny in the first place.
I've said this so many times I might as well just make a recording, but you need to chill out, Betty.
I am chilling out. Just because I complain about stuff doesn't mean I'm not relaxed.
I'm not sure that's how it works.
Trust me, when I'm tense and angry, you'll know it.
I fear the thought.
Anyway, I better go check on the dogs. I'm supposed to be their doctor and they are being suspiciously quiet.
Be careful.
You want anything else?
I'll have a bloom light. Actually, make that 2, please.
Sure. Alright, 2 bloom lights. I don't remember seeing that one. It's so unnecessarily brown. Okay, this I gotta see. 1, 2, all aged, on the rocks and mixed. Ooh, getting kind of fancy with it. Huh, I see. Okay. Then just another one of those. On the rocks, aged and mixed. Here.
Thanks.
Say, you two seem to get along quite well.
Well, when you're the only sentient humanoids in the entire company, it kind of happens.
Sentient?
We have a couple of test mannequins and cardboard cutouts, so...
I see. Seems there's more to it than just that, though. I mean, even if you two are the only ones of your kind, you can still hate each other.
Well, I guess I'm one of the few people that can stand Betty. She's a really nice person, but she doesn't sugarcoat things.
Yeah, I can see that.
You should see her treating those dogs. She becomes so patient and understanding, even if it's only for a little while. The dogs don't call her mom to mock her.
Can dogs mock people? even if it's only for a little while.
You were eavesdropping?
So you can say nice things once in a while.
You say it like I'm the aggressive one here.
Well, it's just nice hearing people say good things about you once in a while, you know?
You should take your own advice.
Maybe some other time. I'm not a hug box.
Anything happened?
A dog in the bathroom got angry at his reflection on the mirror and charged into it. Luckily, nothing bad happened. It just made the dog very confused. How the hell do they get on top of the sinks? They are surprisingly agile, even with those stubby little legs.
Oh yeah, I ordered you this.
Ah, thank you.
By the way, Betty, how is Veronica?
We broke up last month.
What?
Well, things were not going so well. We got too used to one another. Everything was starting to become routine. We decided to break up before things got bitter.
And why didn't you tell me that before?
Why? Did you want your turn at the Betty Mobile? I don't know. I guess I just didn't want to trouble you. And after a while, it stopped feeling like it was something relevant to say. Please don't do that again. Try trusting me. Yeah, you're right. You know what bothers me? The fact that asking after someone's health always feels like you're walking on a floor full of glass shards. There's always this chance that the other person isn't okay, or even dead. And what started as a legitimately fun moment can go sour. Yeah, you're right. Sorry for not trusting you, you piece of scrap.
Don't worry. I understand why you did it.
Hey, now that I think about it, you sure hang out with us a lot, bartender. Well, dogs can only be so interesting. And besides, there haven't been as many dogs today. Is my presence unwanted? Not at all. Especially since you're the one bringing the booze.
You're like those cab drivers that like to chat all the way. But you smell better than most of them.
Thank you. Funny thing is that we are unofficially associated with a local taxi line. They're the ones that send drunkards to their homes. You seem to really, really like talking to your clients. Like it's the best part of your job or something. It kinda is. I used to sit around in crowded places like malls or bars and think to myself, each and every person here has a story. It's a humbling experience. Everyone has dreams, fears, and loved ones. If you dig deep enough, you'll realize that the gap between two random people isn't as big as you think it is. In fact, it's quite small. And in this job, you get to hear all kinds of stories. Some people just blurt it all out. Some do it while drunk. To know that no matter how similar they might seem at first glance, no two people are alike, it's fascinating. You could be a powerful information broker with all that knowledge. Nah, not interested. I like to see myself more as a friendly ear rather than someone you need to be wary of. I guess there's still decent folks out there.
I'm not decent?
You're critically obsessed with dogs. I'll go check if there's any other dogs who want something.
Sure.
Go ahead. Gruff Bucket. Quick! A beer! Okay. I mean, he just said a beer, so let's go ahead and give him that. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All mixed. Perfect. Here. Thanks now. Boom! Why did you break the glass? I made breakfast! Get it? Because you make the drink fast, and I broke it, and go. Tough crowd. Suddenly I understand the hate for puns. Hey, Bad Render. Yeah? Your job has a funny name. You don't say. How is she already drunk? She drank way less than she did last night.
Yeah, but she drank a bottle before coming here.
Why?
I wish I knew. It's an example of her alcohol tolerance, though.
Broad Hunter, I want to make a toast to my good friend the robot here. Probably the only person, robot, thing that can stand my yapping for more than half an hour. Without him, my job would be 5 times more boring, and my life 2 times more meaningless. Cheers! You're not holding a drink. Then give me one, Ben Trader. Isn't that your job? I need a beer. A big one. Alrighty. Alright, how are we doing? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, all mixed. Alright, cheers! I said cheers! Cheers.
Cheers.
Good.
Grumpy when sober and a sweetheart when drunk. It seems like she's been like this since her university years.
Oh, you make it sound like those were a decade ago.
I can understand liking the taste of alcohol, but what's so good about getting drunk?
First of all, I'm not drunk.
You're too happy.
I'm a happy person.
When drunk.
Anyway, it's something you just can't explain. You just like it. Your body needs it. Craves it.
That's called being an alcoholic.
I prefer the term alcohol enthusiast. Anyway, humans actively look for things that make them feel like lightheaded. Why else would they leave some poison in potentially poisonous foods like that weird balloon fish thing? Why would they eat spicy food or drink fermented milk? Seriously, how crazy does someone need to be to say, hey, let's eat this and see what happens? Worse yet, they've even found medicine among all that junk. The one that invented penicillin was probably the worst of them all.
Fair enough. But see, that's proof you're drunk. If you were sober, you would just say, hell if I know.
Silly robot. Now that I think about it, what kind of robot are you?
Willem.
Willem always sounds too feminine. Okay then, what matter of piece of scrap are you?
You don't know?
Never cared, but now I'm curious.
Oh, well, you won't remember tomorrow. I'm a DT-01D, a social development robot.
Is that like the DFC-72s?
No. DFC-72s are designed to be as physically human as possible, in order to blend in with humans better. My line is more tailored for resilience. We are Work Willem.
Why must you be cursed to only one destiny from the moment you were born? You can do whatever you want, you silly robot. Follow your dreams.
I know. I'm already doing it. Being created or hardwired for one duty only means you're more adept at certain things. Giving robots freedom of choice, that's the whole purpose of the ADN law.
Yeah, but you say you're resilient, but you don't look the part.
True. I never upgraded my muscles, but I can stand up to 200 degrees Celsius without breaking a sweat. But it would destroy my precious vest. Betty, that would be a catastrophic loss. Do you see this shit? Do you see how I've got it on all the time? I love this vest, Betty. If it dies, I die with it.
Willem can sweat?
Cooling agents, yes.
No matter, you're still special to me, no matter what kind of robot you are.
Lilum.
No matter what piece of shit you are.
Speaking of special, how come it isn't legal to marry a dog yet?
Buddy. Excuse me, what? She's sobered up!
If humans are allowed to marry robots, Lilum, they should be able to marry dogs too.
Bartender. That's me, I think. This guy here wants to bang a dog. Mock him. Excuse me?
I do not. I was just saying that if humans are now allowed to marry Lilum, why shouldn't they be able to marry animals?
Because first of all, they're not humanoids.
What about monkeys then?
And now you want to bang a monkey?
I do not!
And second of all, dogs, just like many other animals, can't give you consent.
But look at these dogs. Sure, they have the cognitive abilities of 7-year-olds, but they can talk, drink booze, and argue.
So now you want to bang a 7-year-old? We have a regular here who would be delighted to hear that. What the fuck?
Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, both of you, please.
Oh my god, this conversation is making me want to kill myself. Remember, Lilim human marriages were only sanctioned after the Lilim achieved full sentience. And even then, they used marriage as a way to evolve the collective source. Besides, dogs don't really love us that way. Trying to apply human ideas like marriage to a dog is like trying to feed vegetables to a carnivore, you get me?
Says the ex-vegetarian. Why are you only so smart when you're drunk?
I am not drunk. But anyway, if you want to screw a dog or a chimp, go ahead. Just don't bring marriage or infants into the whole ordeal. But if you even start thinking about doing the horizontal mambo with a 7-year-old, please seek some mental help.
But I don't want to bang dogs, or monkeys, or 7-year-olds.
Well, thank God! Then why did you suddenly start talking about dog-human marriage?
It's just, I was thinking about all these dogs in tuxedos, and I started picturing a dog in a bridal dress. I mean, just try and picture that.
And I'm the drunk one. Wait, I'm not drunk, why would I say that? Then again, when you get drunk, you only get dizzy. Do you have a limit? As in, a limit to how much you can drink before passing out?
No, I just get disoriented to the point that I'm effectively useless. But I never pass out. Maybe if I passed out, I wouldn't have to deal with all the shit that follows. I always have to wait at least 24 hours before the effects pass. One has to wonder why they gave all those human flaws to Lilim.
I read something about that. Is that by giving Lilim the same kind of weakness as humans have, they developed the same way humans do?
So that's why they also bite their lips randomly when eating?
I'm sorry, I mean, is that why they also bite their lips randomly while they're eating? Seems like it. But it makes me wonder, exactly how anatomically correct are you?
That's something I know and you don't.
Any of you want anything else to drink? Yes, I want...
Nothing. You're drunk enough as it is.
You're not my dad. You can't tell me what I can or can't do.
Beatrice Albert, stop drinking right now.
Yes, Mom.
Now go sleep in the car. We are almost done here.
But Mom...
Go.
Bye, Dad Nurter. Bye, Miss Betty.
It actually worked. If I didn't know she wouldn't remember anything tomorrow, I'd be afraid of retaliation. Although, I'm curious. Why do you call her Miss Betty? It makes her sound like a teacher or something.
Etiquette? I don't know. There's also something about her that makes it feel right to call her that. Maybe it's the forehead.
I see. Well, I gotta get things ready. If you'll excuse me.
Good luck. Wyvern lover. Hey! We're closing. Damn it!
Well, everyone's safe in a cab. We are taking our leave, bartender. Thank you for providing such great service on such short notice.
That's my job. You were interesting too?
Well, thank you. I'll make sure to tell all our associates about the wonders of this place.
Thanks. And please come again.
We sure will.
Send my regards to Miss Betty.
Gladly. See you later, then.
Bye. All done? Yep. Seems like we just got some new regulars. Yeah. It'd be nice if they came back. Or that we're still here when they want to come back. You've been acting weird all weekend, boss. You okay? I am, but the bar isn't. What do you mean? Well, I guess you have the right to know. The BTC sent me a message on Friday. Valhalla hasn't been bringing in much income these last few months. Which means that we are at risk of being wiped off the map. And that's the end of the day. Fuck my life. Why did we get that specific conversation on today of all days? Like, don't get me wrong, that was pretty funny, but like also it was so horrible to read out loud. Oh well. You can't win them all, I guess. Alright. Okay, onto tonight's main event. We were going to do some character design. Let's go get out the old reliable. That is to say, web browser up. Can everybody see that? Yes, perfect. Alright, first we'll be using the dice roller. So this time I wanted to do a set of 4, but kind of like in a chibi style. So let's try this. So if you've never seen this kind of thing before, or if you've never been to one of these streams before, usually I roll one of these dice to determine how many adjectives I apply to a design, and then I use these different wheels of jobs, random animals, and mythical creatures to kind of determine what the prompt is going to be. But this time around, we're just going to roll the dice directly. Alright, so first one up is going to be 1, which is mythical creature. Okay, let's go see which one we got. Fafnir. I've never heard of that before in my life. Oh well, let's just write it down. Alright, time for the second one. What do we got? 2! That's an animal. Let's check this out. We got a Ballad. I don't... we're 2 for 2 on things that I've never heard of in my life before. Are you sure that's not a mythical creature? Alright, what's gonna be the third one? Another 1. Okay, so that's another mythical creature. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Susano. Isn't that a Japanese god? It might just be a normal, more regular mythical creature, though. Let's try this one more time. And another 1. Okay, another mythical creature. Let's see. This thing might be rigged, honestly. Hercules? That's not a creature, that's a whole guy! That's just a normal dude! Okay, a demi-normal dude, I guess. That's so strange, though. Alright. Okay, so these are our 4 options, I guess. Not really options, these are the 4 things that we have to deal with. So let's go Google what each of these are, because I know what Hercules is. I know what Hercules is. What is a fucking Fafnir? Isn't that a dragon? Hang on, here we go. Fafnir was a dwarf or other type of humanoid who had shifted into the hammer? Or, okay, so into the figure of a Germanic dragon in order to protect a treasure, and then was slain by a member of the Volsung family, typically Sigurd. Okay. Alright. So it's a dwarf that turns into a dragon. Alright. Fafnir commits patricide out of greed, taking the ring and hoard of the dwarf Andvari, and shapeshifting into a dragon. Fafnir's brother Aurelian later assisted Sigurd in obtaining the sword Gram, by which Fafnir is killed. Fafnir has been identified as an unnamed dragon killed by a Volsung in other Germanic works, including Beowulf. Okay. Fafnir and his killing by Sigurd are further represented in various medieval carvings from the British Isles and Scandinavia, and a single axe head in a Scandinavian style found in Russia. The story of Fafnir has continued to have influence in the modern period, such as in the works of J.R.R. Tolkien, who drew inspiration from the tale of Fafnir for his portrayals of Smaug and Gollum. Interesting, okay. So that's Fafnir. What's a Baiti? Species of river dolphin? Are you dead ass? It's a type of dolphin? Wait, did that say hydroelectricity? The Baiji population declined drastically in decades as China industrialized and made heavy use of the river for fishing, transportation, and hydroelectricity. Oh, I see. Ooh, still critically threatened though. That's pretty concerning. The last known living Baiji was Chichi, who died in 2002. The World Wildlife Fund is calling for the preservation of any possible Baiji habitat, in case the species is located and can be revived. Wait, so it's extinct? Fuck! That's depressing. Oh, this apparently is the Chichi who was the last one from 2002. We'll just put the old gal along with Fafnir here. Okay, the second to last one is Sano. Susanoo, often referred to by the honorific title Susanoo no Mikoto, is a kami in Japanese mythology. The younger brother of Amaterasu, goddess of the sun and mythical ancestors of the Japanese imperial line, he is a multifaceted deity with contradictory characteristics, being portrayed in various stories either as a wild, impetuous god associated with the sea and storms, and as a heroic figure who killed a monstrous serpent, or as a local deity linked with the harvest and agriculture. Huh. Syncretic beliefs of the Gion cult that arose after the introduction of Buddhism to Japan also show Susanoo being conflated with deities of pestilence and disease. Susanoo, alongside Amaterasu and the earthly kami Okuninushi, also called Onamuchi, depicted as either Susanoo's son or scion depending on the source, is one of the central deities of the imperial Japanese mythological cycle recorded in the Kojiki and the Nihon Shoki. One of the gazetteer reports commissioned by the imperial court during the same period these texts were written, that of Izumo province in western Japan, also contains a number of short legends concerning Susanoo or his children, suggesting a connection between the god and the region. Oh, he's the one who killed Yamato no Orochi. Okay. Hardcore. Let's just grab that. And also maybe just grab the description here. Okay, the last one was Hercules. We all know what Hercules is. Yeah. Didn't he have like a lion over his shoulders or something? Okay, I'm gonna need to tread lightly here and not stop on any picture for too long because all of these have their woolies out. Okay. Okay, but yeah, no, Hercules very famously has a line. Is he just gonna bash that thing in with a rock? Damn. Hang on. Romans adapted the Greek heroes' iconography and myths for their literature and art under the name Hercules. Greek, from which Hercules... Wait, so... Okay, Heracles was the original guy. Hercules is the Roman version. Interesting, okay. No, wait, no, hang on. Greek divine hero? Wait, Roman equivalent... Oh, wait. No. Those tracks. I was confused for a second because it was said that it was the equivalent to the Greek divine hero Heracles, son of Jupiter and the mortal Alcmena. I'm like, Jupiter is Roman though. Okay. Hang on, I'm gonna look something up quickly, like Hercules iconography. Because I am absolutely certain that guy skinned a lion at some point. If I recall correctly, that guy definitely skinned the line and wore its pelt for shits and gigs. You know what? Let's just put this here. Okay. And also, let's rotate everything here because we need to. I'm gonna need more width, I think. Rotate and flip canvas by 90 degrees counterclockwise. Here we go. Yeah, we could probably stand to have a little bit more elbow room on the side, too. I'm gonna drink some water real quick. Alright. So yeah, earlier I was saying that I wanted to do this in such a way that it's going to represent very traditional role-playing game character classes, so let's put these in order first. There we go, that's nice and neat. I do also... Okay, so here's my question, though. How does everyone think of the normal order of a role-playing game party? So, okay, so hang on. Let's remake this because it got turned into a raster layer. So, Fafnir, Baiji, Susano... I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Hercules. Okay. Oh, that's not the right proportions. Okay. So usually I think when I was a wee youngster and I was playing Final Fantasy 1 for shits and gigs because I didn't know any better. I always used to do like first up was like the warrior class, second was like the cleric or the healer class, third was the dark mage class or, you know, the DPS wizard class, and the last one would have been the thief or the martial artist. So I'm gonna go like... I think I'm gonna follow that same order. No, wait, thief is last. I guess I could just say wizard. Or mage or something like that. Mage sounds better. It's a little punchier. And then Hercules will be the thief. That is kind of appropriate though, because Hercules did steal a bunch of shit during in that one time. Okay. We can also probably shrink this a little bit. Okay. Here is what I'm thinking. So, for the first one up is the Fafnir, and it said that that's like a dwarf that turns into a dragon, right? What I'm thinking off of that is very much like a very typical warrior kind of frame, like very square and, you know, sturdy looking, maybe a big shield or something. But I don't know, should it be a spear or a sword? I think a spear is more fitting. And but here's the kicker. It's gonna look like up here's the helmet. But the actual head will be like closer to down here. They're just a little guy. And we'll have the pauldrons all the way up here too. Okay. Bro hasn't relaxed his shoulders a single time in the past 15 years of adventuring. Okay, and maybe just little stubby legs here. I'm actually really fond of the idea of giving this guy like really pointy-footed greaves. Okay, and we can have the dragon be like this kind of open mouth serpent thing. And I like this idea too because it makes it look like it's a sort of decoy helmet up here, right? Okay, I like that idea for the warrior. Okay, cleric themed after a freshwater dolphin. That one might be a lot trickier, actually. Okay. Oh, hey, check this out. So up here in the description, it's possibly thought to be the first dolphin species driven to extinction because of due to the impact of humans. That's not a fun fact. I thought I was going to say that it's the first dolphin species ever. Oh my god, that's horrible. But check this out. The genus name Lipotes means left behind, and the species epithet Vexillifer means flag bearer. It is nicknamed the goddess of the Yangtze and was regarded as the goddess of the protection by local fishermen and boatmen. Yeah. Okay, we can work with that actually. That's really good. Wait, actually, I really like this diagram too. Let's take that with. Okay, so definitely some kind of river deity of some description. Oops. Bring that back. Okay. River deity, huh? I don't know much about river worship, to be quite honest. Oh wait, hang on. I got the best idea for like a face that they can be doing. So they're gonna look like. Hang on, I'm gonna change the color because this doesn't have a lot of contrast. Is that better? Not really. Let's try. Oh, this one has a good bit of contrast. Let's do that. They look kind of like a scrunched up Muppet face too. Okay. I don't know. What kind of hat do clerics wear? I think they usually have, like, bishop kind of regalia, but I don't know about drawing all that. I was thinking about like the kind of weapon the cleric would have. Clerics usually have like blunt weapons or staves, and I was debating about making the stave look like the dolphin, but then it would just look like he's being, or they're beating someone to death with a fish, and I don't think that's a good look. Oh wait, we should give him. We should give them like the Usopp nose. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking: big, protruding forehead, insane baldness pattern. And then we can use that. Maybe not this kind of hair, though. Like, I like the idea of the protruding nose. Maybe not quite as exaggerated. Wait, no, that's better. We've struck gold. This is perfect. And actually, maybe just make them a little bit shorter too, because I really wanted to do these like in a sort of really short, deformed style. I do think maybe like like a sort of scarf over the shoulders would be appropriate. I don't know what kind of armor covers the ears but not the head. We couldn't give him earmuffs or headphones. I don't think that'd work really. What about a really big collar? Okay, now we're cooking. God, crazy to think that with that schnoz of his, he's not going to be able to turn all the way around fully. Like, it's just going to catch on the collar. Okay. Ooh, wait. What if like, hang on. What if like as part of the regalia he has some kind of face paint that makes it look a little bit like the dolphin? I'm not sure about that one. But maybe some kind of head cap? I don't know. That doesn't seem to be the right answer. Wait, hang on. Okay. Stop me if this is nothing. What if it's like one of those helmets that has... Hang on. Get rid of the collar for a second. You know those helmets that are kind of like Viking-like? That have like really big gaps here for the eyes? What if it's something like that? Okay. Let's try this. What would that even be called? Like a metal skull cap? Hang on. Metal helmet eye holes? Or metal helmet styles. That might be a bit more productive avenue for research. Barabuta helmet. Norman nasal helmet. Hang on. Oh baby, this is what the doctor ordered. Okay. This is how we do this. This is how we do this. This is how we proceed. Oops. Put that back. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna be a thing here. Okay, and then like this, like this. Yes, I feel it. I can feel it. Or actually, wait, some of these look like they only have the nasal strip in the front, so what if I just kinda... Okay. Now, I gotta give him like a book or something just so that he doesn't look too much like a spellcaster and still looks kind of cleric-ish. Or maybe I should just give him a mace. Wait, hang on. I've got it. I understand how to perfect this design. I'm gonna make the helmet a sort of Kilroy was here kind of looking situation. Yes, okay. Okay. Gonna maybe saw off the full length of the schnoz on the dolphin here. Okay. I don't know. Is there like... what kind of religious-looking symbol that can I do that looks like a wave? That's just the Dreamcast logo. We can't use that. You know what? We'll figure it out or we won't. And I think something else that could help is probably to give the dolphin cleric robes of some capacity. Like is it called a frock? Hang on. Monk frock. Yeah, wait, hang on. What if could we make this a hood of sorts? Nah. That's doing too much. That's doing too much. But we could put a hood here. Okay. Yeah. This works. This works. I am gonna give this guy like sandals. I think that just feels fitting for a river guy. Okay. And then we can have a book here. And we need to make the hang on. Okay. What? Yo, wait, hang on. What are we? Okay. I don't know if this image is copyrighted. Have y'all seen that one picture of like a dolphin leaping with joy? Hang on, I can find it. It's got rainbows and everything. Hang on. Do I need to look up like meme? Yeah, this one. What if we just had something like this on the frock here? Like, hang on. Oh, it's still got an opening? Oh, over here. And down here. And up here. Okay, this is a lot of effort to be putting in for a dumb bit. But it will be worth it. Okay, and then... Fuck, wait, that actually looks really funny. Maybe if we kind of just... stylize it a bit? I don't know, it kind of goes hard a little bit. Okay, here's what let's do. Row 1 here will be the... Hang on. And we can have... one dolphin. They have very doughy bodies, these dolphins. Okay. And then we can have a slightly smaller one. We can make it almost like a Taiji 2 looking thing. Okay. There has to be a better way we can approach the ocean wave motif on the bottom. Or I guess it'd be the river wave. I mean, I don't know. What is like a river pattern? Is there such a thing as a river pattern? Ooh, wait, maybe because rivers kind of spread out in all directions, it can be almost like the hood is like the top of the river and it's kind of going down. Yeah, okay. Also, I think, okay, first of all, we need to make this guy match height with the guy on the left, and also I think it'd be really funny if I just made his head inexplicably smaller than the rest of his body. I don't know though. Maybe big head like this is okay. No, this does look a little better. I need to go look at more some priest, not priest, monks mocks again. Okay, yeah. Okay, we'll do it like this then. Okay, and then decrease the size of this. Perfect. It's not quite as lively as the night, but I think it's because with the night I was more uncertain about the forms. Okay, so for Susano... Let's see. First of all, let's go with like a dark orange for Susano. The other thing... Okay. Sea in the Storms is a heroic figure who killed a monstrous serpent. Okay. I wonder if Susano has any other iconography we can leverage for the design. Or maybe there's like a different picture we can find of him. Okay. Wait. Pause. Hang on. I just found I found an image that changes everything. Get a load of this. Okay, so obviously it looks like he's using a sword here. But hang on, I'm gonna bring this up to full opacity. Get a load of that glorious mane of hair. Right? Crazy work. Alright. We can use this. Is there any other depictions of him that we can take a look through? Ooh, this one's also good. We can put this beneath it since one side of it is just about the evil spirits. Let's take a gander at that. I am thinking a lot of robes. Definitely very stuffy looking. What else is there? Are there any other depictions? Yo, check this. Check this one out. Susano's rampage. Susanoo about to flay the heavenly horse. Look at the fucking horse's expression. Jesus Christ, man, ease up. The horse doesn't know what it's doing. Doesn't know what it's doing wrong. Hang on. A prayer, or Norito, originally recited by the priestly Nakatomi clan in the presence of the court during the Great Exorcism ritual the last day of the 6th month, more commonly known today as the Oharai no Kotoba, words of the Great Exorcism, lists 8 heavenly sins, most of which were agricultural in nature. Breaking down the ridges, covering up the ditches, slamming the back of my Dragula, releasing the irrigation sluices, double planting, setting up stakes, skinning alive, skinning backwards, and defecation. Wait, just pooping is wrong? That's a little harsh, don't you think? Seems like an overreaction, but hell, what do I know about lawmaking? Okay. But that gives us some good information to work with, to some extent. Let's try this. Here's the thing, though. I don't think it's going to be easy to... This guy already looks very wizardly, so we need to find a different sort of wizardness to impart to this one. So what about... Hang on. I'm gonna... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna build this fucker like the Lorax in honor of the hair thing that Susano has got going on. Oh god, it's even orange like the Lorax. What am I doing? Okay, he's got some crazy ass eyebrows here, by the way. And also, since I couldn't give the priest the huge nose, I'm gonna give it to this guy. Yeah, definitely a wide-brimmed hat, I think. Or maybe a hood. Maybe a hood is better. Hmm. Yeah, okay. Maybe like a brimless hat. God damn it, now he just looks like Dr. Wily. I don't know, is this anything? I feel like I'm not really cooking here. What can I make it look, do to him to make him avoid looking too much like Dr. Wily? Upwards hair. Wait, no, I've got it. Instead of making him look like Wily, he's gonna look like Heihachi. Perfect. Okay, so how exactly does the layering on these coats work, really? Or is it that... Wait, I think it's also the fact that somebody's riding on his back. That's probably obfuscating things a little bit. Hmm. Well, I'll just do my best. Hmm. Okay, what if I just have him with his hands out like this? I think that also provokes more wizardy vibes. Also, I'm thinking about making the staff look almost like a sheathed sword. Yeah. Maybe with like jewels on either side to make it look more like a katana. Nah, if it's old school magic shit, it's got to be an orb at the top. Don't you guys think so too? Like, there's very few things that scream more. This is an old school RPG than having some dude who just has a random bullshit round gem on their person. Okay. And then the last one is going to be... Or actually, wait, hang on, before I finish. There we go. Well, I might come back to this whole sword gemstone thing idea later. I might tweak it a little bit once we're trying to make the finalized product. But let's move on to Hercules as a thief. So, I do think we have one. We do have a lot of them here that look very outwardly masculine. I think this one should look a little bit more feminine. So maybe bringing this out a little bit. Okay, we can also probably get rid of the extra Susano references pictures here. I don't know. What does like an RPG thief normally look like? I guess usually they have a bandana. I don't know much else. Let me think. Okay, they have bandanas. They usually wield knives. Drawing a blank here. I guess they have like satchels and stuff like that. Gonna have to think about this one. Might also just go for blue again for the drawing color. Okay. What about... Okay. What? Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. Skinning the Nemean lion, right? Gonna produce a pelt. What if it's just like that one piece? Hang on. Y'all know that one piece guy who has a lion on his stomach? What if the lion is almost is supposed to like hold a clutch purse or something? You know, maybe we need to think of her more of like a ruffian bandit thing than like a... than a quote-unquote thief. Oh, wait. Instead of having the lower jaw be clamped around a purse, maybe we can just have the top jaw be the top of the satchel? Yeah, okay. Gonna shrink that down just so it's in a little bit more proportion with the rest of these. Probably really tall boots, too. That wouldn't be the way that these legs are going, right? Yeah, I think like this would be better. Yeah. Okay, this feels more natural. Or wait, what was that one? Okay, hang on. There's this one guy from Dragon Quest that looks like he has a chestnut on his head. Okay, he's from Dragon Quest 8. Hang on. DQ8 Thief. What is this guy's name? What is this guy's name? Hang on. Made Dragon Quest 8 characters. Alright, here we go. Yangus. My guy brother Yangus. Okay. Has an axe, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is kind of the vibe that I'm picturing for the Hercules one now. I hadn't even thought about making the line into a vest though. That's sick. Okay. Okay, here's what let's do. I don't know. Maybe I need to let go of the line a little bit. Hang on. Depictions of Hercules. Almost always got a big bushy beard. Sometimes has a club. I don't know. Hang on. What if we just look up the 12 labors of Hercules? There's also a Wikipedia category for paintings of Heracles, too. That could be helpful. Okay, Nemean lion. King... Okay. When he returned on the 30th day carrying the carcass of the lion on his shoulders, King Eurystheus was amazed and terrified. Eurystheus forbade him to ever again enter the city. From then on, he was to display the fruits of his labors outside the city gates. Eurystheus would then tell Heracles his task through a herald, not personally. Eurystheus even had a large bronze jar made for himself in which to hide, in which to hide from Heracles if need be. Eurystheus then warned him that the task would become increasingly difficult. Funny as fuck. Okay. During the fight, the lion bit off one of his fingers. Huh. How about that? Okay, but paintings of Heracles. Okay, we got a couple of them here. Almost all of them are butt naked. Dudes just went around without wearing anything back. Look at this. He's even got his... even though he's wearing something, he's got his butt cheeks slipping out, bro. Come on. Get it together, man. Wait, what's this one? Hercules' dog discovers purple dye? Oh, this is cute. Wait, no, hang on. This is really cute, though. What else we got? Okay. Interesting move to have the pelt covering the junk. Very clever. Actually, I think I might go for that one, actually. Yeah, that's good because it introduces a very simple repeating shape. Ooh, wait. Hang on. I've got it. You know how in Japanese cartoons they'll sometimes have a guy that has their face wrapped up in a really stupid looking way? Like they'll have a handkerchief like tied around their head like this, so like their eyes are visible, but it's like right under their nose. Wait, that's a little bit too much like the knight, though. I need to be careful of that. Okay, yeah, maybe like bright eyes like this would be good. Okay. And then a second knot down here. It looks almost a little bit like a ninja. There we go. I feel like we're not doing enough with the chest, though. I think we can also, once we go back to the wizard, we can also add some design similar to how the cleric has the dolphins. Wait, what if we add like a number to their head? I feel like that's probably a good idea. Thinking. What about, okay, and the other thing that I can think of is like maybe a big belt. Or maybe we can replace the second one with the belt. No. That breaks up the repetition, which I'm not a fan of. I really just don't know what to do for the top of this torso. Maybe I need to go look through some more Google searches or something. Unless... Hang on. Unless we also do like this? No. I was gonna say, what if we have like a bodysuit, but then... Like, but it's covered by the pelt. Like, almost... It would almost look a little bit like like one of those flying squirrels with their limbs extended. Also gonna get rid of the 12. It doesn't feel fitting. What I could do is add like a leaf pattern to the handkerchief. Because that way it'll look a little bit like a... Wait, no, but this is a pelt though. Maybe the pose is what's wrong. Hang on. There we go. And just round out the head to simplify the pattern a little bit. Yes, yes, okay. Maybe like this. Okay, that's something. That's something. We're getting there. Little by little, we're getting there. Okay. Okay, and we can replace these for actual hands. Yeah, okay, okay, okay. And then maybe we can have the club just like at their waist like this. Okay. I was thinking of giving them like stripes to mimic. You know how in The Sims it's like a very comically criminal-looking person. Whenever you have like a criminal career, like the striped shirt and the domino mask and everything. Okay. Wait, this might be it actually. Leggings. I'm not sure if this screams thief though. Maybe I should give them the striped shirt after all. No, no, no. Okay, maybe instead of the club, we have bags? Wait, a burlap sack. Yes, bro, that's it. Very classical thing for a thief to have. Okay. Okay, and now we just need to mess up their proportions so they look similar to the other characters. Okay. Nice. All right, I think we're ready to start the line art stage. Although the thief should be a little bit bigger, I think, still. Okay, let's add a little bit more breathing room for these jerks. Okay. Actually, is there any particular symbol associated with Susano? Like, does he have a specific emblem, or I don't think he does, right? Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it. The best I can tell is that his whole deal is having like a headband. All right. Merge selected layers, copy and paste that. Lower the luminosity by a lot. Blur them out a little bit. Lower the opacity, and we are ready to start doing the line art. I don't think these guys are going to be super complicated to draw. I do think that they are probably going to be on the more simple side in terms of just how I draw. Like I said, I wanted to have a very kind of old school RPG feel to them. Okay, so I'm actually thinking for the shield, right? We're gonna go for a thing like this, so it looks a little bit like the dragon scale. Okay, and then vector erase here and here. And maybe around here. We can just extend this line a little bit. Okay, and then over here. Let's just add a scaled pattern to this. Okay. And we can draw the other hand first, too. I think that'll be a good idea. Let's simplify this. Did that actually do anything? I don't think it did. What did it do? Oh, okay, yeah, that's much better. Okay, maybe we can just use the tools here to flatten this out a little bit. Yes, okay. Okay, how can we make the tip more dragon-like? Can I, if I look up Dragon Spear, is that gonna do anything, or is that gonna lead me to some MMO bullshit? MMO bullshit. Alrighty then. Oh wait, actually, what if I just put little wings on it? That'll look kind of cute. There we go. Okay. Okay, and then the other one. Okay, and then the cuirass down here. Come on. There we go. I need to, hang on. I need to make this line go all the way over here so that it can look like the movable neck that some neck armor has. Yeah. Okay, this is looking sick. Do you think that that this knight ever like shakes their head really fast to make the snake figurehead on the top of their helmet go like, "What's that?" I like to imagine that this looks like one of those Lego dragons that Lego sets used to have. There we go. I love how this is looking. Oh my god, that looks so nice. Okay, and then over here. Okay, we're gonna put the shoes over here. Watch your toes. Come on. Here we go. Over here, we're gonna have the other shoe. Perfect. And we're going to have the spear poke out just a little bit further than the shoe is. Beautiful. Oh, actually what I could do is turn this into a boot. Like this. I don't know, how does that look? No. Go back. There we go. Perfect. Maybe just a little bit more love to this part here, but other than that, actually something about the shoes is bothering me, low-key. Maybe there should be... No. I like it, it just looks off somewhere. Okay. Moving on to the next one. The Cleric. Something about the shoes is still bothering me, though. What if... Hang on. What if... Instead of this, it's like that? Come on. Keep it together. Okay. You know what? That I do like that a little bit more. Maybe if we just straighten these out instead of having them be curved like that, I think that's going to be an even stronger silhouette. Yeah, I think that's slightly better because I do also think that it continues promoting this very square shape that the character has. Instead of having that that curve there, it just looks more square now, which is perfect. The machine is working precisely as intended. Okay, and then this is gonna go in like this. Okay, perfect. I kind of like the dopey look that he's got on now. I was gonna be like, maybe I should give him... Hang on. Like, you know the eyes that Luke Trident has? The ones that are kind of like... that? I was gonna say... Yeah, that looks really creepy, actually. Let's not do that. I don't want any malicious slander to go about this guy. He just needs to be a nice, friendly healer for the party. Okay. Then like this. Perfect. All right. Next up. Oh wait, we have to do the insignia on the frock. Okay, and then like this, like this. Actually, yeah, maybe separating the hoodie like this might be a better idea. Then like this. Dang, I should have asked for everyone to give me live updates on the Game Awards. I've just been yapping at myself for a little while now. I've been so locked in on this JRPG shit that I've forgotten to engage with everyone. What am I doing? Por más pendejo actúas así. Oh well. Like I said, my people will inform me if anything needs to come to my attention. I like the idea of the Scriptures of the Dolphin being like a really short book, and it's just full of like various types of acoustic material, so that you can tap it to hear like the dolphin like like that. Two, three. I also think that it ended up making him look a little bit like Mozgus from Berserk. That one guy who looks flat as fuck. The guy who got told to be there and be square and he weren't there. God, that was such a funny looking guy. Top 10 Berserk character designs for me, to be quite honest. Two, three. Okay, then we can also do it like this. How's that looking? He needs to be... Hang on. It's a very strange situation. I need to, like... Hang on. It's a very specific thing that I need to do, and it's like this, and then also like this. A little bit more of this. Okay. Next up. The mage, that's right. I need to crack my wrists. Oh, I have not been mobilizing my wrists properly. They don't hurt or nothing, it's just that I hear a lot of cracking going on there, and it's a little bit alarming to say the least. What was I doing? Right, Susanoo! It's kind of fun having to work with this very limited variety for pen thickness. I feel like it creates a more cartoony style, but that's really good for the purposes of this. Okay, and then over here. And I think, you know what, for good measure, let's give the hat some tufts too. Okay. I'm a little sad that I can't incorporate more of... Because I don't know a lot about Susano. Like, I could skim the Wikipedia article, but I know about him as much as him as I do about dolphins. Which is to say, not much. Okay. I don't know. I actually think I know more about dolphins than I do about Susano. Because I know like a couple of things about dolphins, right? Like I know, for example, that the fact that they use echolocation. Does Susano have echolocation? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Can base form Susano beat 100 dolphins unarmed? Actually, the answer is absolutely, probably, because I don't know. Japanese gods, at least from what I have seen, have some very impressive martial qualities about them, because like almost all of them have been throwing hands at some point or another. Okay. Like, they're definitely scrapping out there. I don't know. Hang on. Is there, like, Susano relics? Mythopedia. Hang on. This might be something. Okay, etymology, attributes, tumultuous deity, god of storms, storm, wind, and sea. Okay. Okay, so the thing is that his whole thing is having a sword. Okay. So maybe we reconsider our approach to this. Maybe instead of making a staff-like sword, we can make a sword-like staff. Or maybe it's the other way around. Hang on. Totsuka no Tsurugi. Does Wikipedia have an article for that? Sword of 10 hand breadths is not a specific sword, but a common noun for any sword of this length. Fuck my life. One of them used by Izanagi to kill off his offspring, Kagutsuchi. The Totsuka sword used in between Amaterasu and Susano. Amaterasu received the sword from Susano, snapped it into 3 pieces, and created the 3 Munakata goddesses from its debris. The sword was not named. another Tatsuka sword in Susanoo's possession, which he used to slay Orochi, also called the Ama no Habakiri or Ame no Habakiri, or Futsushi Tama no Tsurugi. The sword is enshrined at the Shintai of the... We have it? Wait, hang on. Pause. We have that shit? Hang on. This could be huge. If we know what the sword looks like, that's gonna be great for us. And it's a bunch of anime. Fuck. And Yu-Gi-Oh cards too, hang on. No, okay, this is from the One Piece wiki. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! One Piece wiki. What the fuck is this? Iruna Online. I never heard of that. Okay. Well. There goes that lead. Let's not be too sad, though. Okay. Wait, hang on. This is hilarious. After the sword's owner, Susanoo, was banished from heaven by reason of killing one of Amaterasu's attendants and destroying her rice fields, he descended to the province of Izumo, where he met Ashinatsuchi, an elderly man who told him that the Yamato no Orochi had consumed 7 of his 8 daughters and was soon coming to eat the last one. Susanoo decided to help the family and investigated the creature. Soon he begged Ashinatsuchi for the permission to marry Kushinada Hime, which was granted. Having his plan ready, he transformed his wife into a comb so he could have her near in the battle. As the great snake came, it put each of one of its 8 heads through the gates God built, searching for the daughter. As a bait, the gods had put a big amount of sake after each gate. The snake took the bait and got drunk. Having an easy chance, Susanoo took the Worochi no Aramasa and cut every head off the snake, proceeding to the tails. In the 4th one, he found an exceptionally great sword, the Kusanagi no Tsuguri. Having the sword in his hands, he returned to the heaven, offering the sword as a reconciliation gift to his sister Amaterasu. Wait, that's awesome. The snake was like, time to go eat one of those delicious daughters that I've been enjoying so much recently. Got one of each of its 8 heads through a gate, saw a big old sake bottle, and was like, well, don't mind if I do. And immediately got sloshed, at which point this guy just fucking cut off its head. Fucking awesome. Alright, man. Yeah, we don't really have a reference for how this thing looks at all, do we? Alright, we'll just have to wing it. Whoops. Let's put that back. Actually, I should save. There we go. Ooh, wait, actually, now that I'm looking at it, this part here could actually look like a third eye. Alright, here's what let's do. Nice, simple, straight line. Rotate it like so. Get rid of this one. Duplicate this one and rotate that. And then we can make it so that its edge looks like a katana. Or, you know, a sword. I don't think katanas have been developed by that point, because during that age of mythology, I imagine the most recent metal available would have been like maybe iron? It's hard to say. I don't know much about the smithing history of Japan. I know they were pretty far ahead in the curve, so to speak, with the production of steel due to like the rare like iron enriched sand that they used with a specific sort of clay to make the steel in swords. From what I recall, it's been a long time since I looked into Japanese sword making. Here's an idea, though. Diamond pattern, and that way we can have the hilt look like a binded sword handle. What are we thinking? Okay, and then we can also have the diamond pattern on the frock here, or robes, whatever. Okay. Perfect. And what I'm going to do here, instead of having the bottom be like that, I'm going to make it look like the robes are dragging along the ground slightly. Yes. Okay. I'm honestly really liking how the wizard turned out. I thought this was going to be the weakest of the designs, but it's come along pretty well. Okay, time for the last one, the thief. Okay, and then over here. Yes, okay. Then over here, likewise, we're going to have that. And I think for this one, the motif is going to be like ruffled edges so that we can have a consistent thing with the line. Because of the line, I kind of didn't want to do a cat mouth because I thought it would look strange, but honestly, this looks nice. How'd I do the knot down here? Ah, yes. The dead lion head looks a little creepy to me. I don't know. Well, I guess it'd be weird if it looked inviting. It is a lion, after all. Still laughing my ass off at the guy that had sent out Heracles to kill the lion. Immediately seeing Heracles kill the lion, I was like, oh fuck, and immediately built himself a bronze jar that he could hide in. That's some next level thinking. Not just making sure that that guy couldn't see you again, but also making sure that if he could somehow get through the palace security and just barge into your room, you had somewhere to hide. Because a guy like that, you definitely hear him coming. Fuck, that's funny. Okay, and then over here. Okay. I think it's possible that I'm just not very good, that I need to have some practice at making feminine looking characters in this design, because I don't think you can really, this can scan as feminine, but I don't think it really is overtly feminine, which was my intention. So, good design, my delivery on my intention as an artist probably could have used some work. I'll figure it out next time. Or maybe some other time. Sometimes I think it's nice when like the quote unquote feminine characters don't look like super feminine. You know what I mean? Like I remember, okay, on my way on the return trip from visiting my family, I watched that Looney Tunes movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up, and like it was an okay movie. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought it would. Like everybody was telling me that it would blow my dick clean off, but I don't think it really reached that level for me. Unfortunately, I was impressed by some of the sequences and the creativity involved, and I do think some of the bits did really get me. But overall, a solid 7. But when they introduced like the female pig in that one, like to be the foil to Porky, I was like, oh Christ. Like I genuinely felt like I needed to stop myself from rolling my eyes hard enough that people could hear it. I don't know. There's lots of people on the in the world who aren't very good at handling women, right? Like for whatever reason, maybe they didn't make the correct preparations to experience that interaction growing up, what have you. It can happen, but like with a lot of these older animations, you really do feel like they think that women are creatures from another planet. And it's just it can take you out of it. It can take you out of the experience a little bit. Okay. Hang on. What if I did the boot hem like this? Ooh. Yeah, okay. A little bit of an ice climber's looking ass if I'm being real. But that's okay. Also, I'm going to add a club in one of their hands. Grip that thing. Okay. And actually, one thing that I want to try and do real quick is just reduce the thickness of the line by maybe 2. Okay. All right. Time to give these guys a quick bit of color, and we can and we can go on our merry way. Okay, so obviously the dolphin priest is going to be blue, right? I forgot to add pages to the book. Bro is reading. Bro is not reading. Actually, we could probably make this like more of a greenish blue. And then we can make the rest of the robes like pure white. Okay. How about... maybe a little darker than that for the dolphin guy. A little darker. That's nice. I like how the dolphin guy turned out. He looks really good-natured. Despite everything, there's a kindness in his eyes. Maybe we can make this like a deeper blue. Ooh, yeah. Okay, the dragon guy. There we go. I think green for the dragon guy would probably be a good move. And as just a general color motif. For the armor, we can go with like this kind of shade of... ooh, yeah. I was just throwing whatever at the wall, but that one's actually kind of nice. I don't know, a nice bright red would pair well with this. Okay, we can do that, and then... yeah, that looks so cute! I really love how the dragon head came out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really fond of it. Nah, better not overdo it on the red. We also need like a darker green maybe for the... yeah. Okay. I don't know. What do we think, gang? More color variety, maybe? Actually, maybe these should just be the normal... Yeah. I think making them not stand out too much is good. Maybe they should be the kind of green color. Yeah, no, I think the brighter green might be a better fit for these, because I think then, if you look at it from a distance, it's much more readable as, like, some kind of creature. Okay. For this guy, it's gotta be orange, right? Like, we have to fulfill the prophecy, unfortunately. Or ochre. Ochre is also nice. Maybe we can bullshit it and say it's yellow. Who knows? We might be able to do something with that. I do think we're gonna use some makeup for this guy, though. I don't know, maybe we can do something about that. Like, hang on. Select color gamut, these two here. What other colors can we make these? Yeah, none of these stick quite as well as red. I'm just gonna keep the course steady on that one. Okay, and then just equally loud orange, I think. No, it's gotta be something else. Maybe... I don't know, maybe like a purple? A darker purple? Maybe more vibrant than that. No, that's not good. Blue as a highlight overlaps too much. Oh, this one's kind of nice. Okay, and... Wait. No. It's got. I think sticking with a darker bushy beard is going to be better. I do think that maybe less intensely dark, just so it's a little bit more readable. Just brighten that up just a tiny bit and maybe saturate it a little. No, desaturate it. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. This guy's missing something for sure. Hang on. Contrast. Actually, maybe the lighter skin tone might be better for this. No, that just looks ashy, though. Okay. There we go. This should be a little better. I don't know. We need like a tertiary color here. Wait, this is what we can do. We can narrow down the usage of colors by replacing this this kind of salmon pink on the scarf with the more aggressive orange from the eyes. And then instead of having... No, the yellow diamonds is important, so maybe instead we will have the bright red? No. No, I think we're gonna just have to reverse the... No, that also doesn't feel like the right answer, though. Unless... Hmm. I don't know. Wait. I'm a genius. Never mind. Or maybe yes? No, if anything, we should make the bottom of the staff white. Hmm. No. No, it's gonna have to be like this, but... What should we do for the robes? Should we just bring them back up to orange or red? Ooh, wait, hang on. Kinda digging that. No. This is such a struggle. Why? Why am I fighting for my life trying to make this sword happen? I do think maybe less lines might be helpful for the sword, though. Okay. You know what? That's pretty good. Let's just go with that. Yeah, actually, I think I might just be going like this instead. Okay, and then maybe over here we'll make it more like this. No, that looks like a screaming face, actually. Let's not do that. Hmm. Wait, this could work. Hmm. How did it look before? Yeah, no, this was better. I really am tempted to just kind of... Hang on. We're about to take a drastic measure here. Please hang on to your seatbelts. Alright, let's just, copy or cut and paste this one into a separate part. And then we're going to duplicate this layer, and then we're going to tonal correct it. And we'll shop around a little bit, but hopefully we'll be... Hang on. We'll be able to find something good here. Like this! Look at that! Wait, hang on. What if we use this? Yeah, look at how cheerful that is. Maybe it's the facial hair. Maybe the facial hair did need some tint towards a specific color. We'll do that for now. Could we? Hang on. And I want to try this out as well. Select color gamut, this one here. I want to see. I'm gonna see something. We already have a green one. We already have a blue one. Purple is a color I hadn't really considered. But that makes it look a little bit evil. Plus it'll fuck up the balance of hues in the party. Yeah, no. Let's just leave it as it is. Okay. Okay, and then we'll use these, and we can use a similar color for the edges of the garment. Ooh, wait, that looks much better though. And we can use a slightly lighter version of this for the burlap sack. Okay. Oh, that looks cute. Okay, and then maybe we make the club the same color as the burlap sack. But now we need to differentiate the colors for from the wizard. Can we make this any redder than it is? Hang on, can we... Let's see. Okay, and then maybe turn the skin tone back into a more... into a less hued one? Something like this? Could this work? We could also bring back a couple of the elements back down to the original color palette. Maybe we could also... Maybe we can give them red gloves? Nah. I do think that these two are a little bit too alike, but honestly, overall, I think we've got a pretty nice spread here. I don't know. I think I think there's more that we could have done. I think there was definitely like more ground to cover that we could have covered. But given like the time constraints and everything, I'm pretty happy with how these turned out. I really like how the style turned out as well. Very happy about everything. All right. I'm sure everybody's itching to run off and watch the Game Awards, so I'm going to close out here as well. I'm also quite tired, so I think it's a good place for me to end. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Take it easy, all right? Bye-bye.